Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Today we are going to talk about most common horary mistakes. My name is Buket, and you're welcome to my astrology channel. So I've been teaching Horary for 3 years, and the things that I'm going to discuss today are the most common ones that I saw from my students. The ones that I'm going to talk about is mostly who start natal astrology first are more likely to do these kind of mistakes because sometimes they get confused about Horary and natal. But first of all, we need to know that horary and natal astrology are different branches. So we can't use the same techniques for horary, what we use for natal astrology, because we need to understand that in natal charts, we are analyzing the whole lifetime. It's a long term. But when we are talking about horary, it's a very specific and short time. It's actually a moment, like we're analyzing a moment. That's why we need to differ what we do in each chart. Okay, so first of all, I would say that we need to have a rubric. Let's write it down. Rubric. It's very important you go step by step, and each chart in each question, you have to follow the same rubric. Like we always start with the ascendant, and then we go to the quiescent, and then we go to the moon. We need to keep this rubric because if you just go like start with the different significators, when you go to the conclusion, you will probably get lost and you're not going to make it right. Because first, you need to understand how this person acting in this question. And then you're going to see what are the other stuff going on. So it's really important. And the moon always needs to be third. This is also important. And if you go like this, you really minimize the risk of getting lost in the chart. And please don't rush, don't run. Just take your time, like use our tools like essential dignities, accidental fortitudes, like write them down and write them 1, 2 sentence each for them, and then it's gonna really make your interpretation in a higher quality. Okay, first one is this, going through chart step by step. Second one, analyzing everything in the chart. So, as I was mentioning in the beginning, we're not reading a natal chart. So we are just analyzing what querent asked. So if this is a career question, there is no point that I'm analyzing the fourth house, because fourth house is about your home, your land, your father. Or if you're asking a question about your partner, you don't go analyze the third house because it's the seventh house question. You know what I mean? So if you try to analyze everything more than you need, it's most likely you're going to get lost, because it's a question. It's a very simple question. And the querent is not asking you to tell about his whole life. It's just asking one question. So find your significators, analyze them, and don't try to make more of it. Just be simple, because when you try to talk about more, it makes you more confused. And you start to make a scenario in your head, like a natal astrology. But in horror, we don't need that. Keeping it simple always helps you to get a clear conclusion. Third one, these ones are really important. Like analyzing the planets, like in natal chart, and also analyzing the signs. As I said, we're not reading a natal chart. So, for example, in natal chart, if Mercury is ruling one house, you talk about this house meanings, but at the same time, you talk about Mercury. Like Mercury is about analytical thinking, about communication, writing, teaching, about hands, like etc. But in Horary, I don't care about this. Mercury is just a player that represents my question. That's it. It can be Jupiter, or it can be Venus, or the moon. It doesn't matter. We don't talk about planets' essential things. Like Venus is about love. Venus is about beauty, aesthetics. Yes, that's correct in natal chart. But when we talk about horary, we don't really care about this stuff. And the second one is we don't really do sign interpretations. Like if I find Venus is in Aries, I don't go like natal interpretation. I don't talk about how Venus is acting in sign Aries. I just need to know that for Horary, Venus is in detriment in Aries, and this is not a good sign. That's all I need to know, because it means that the thing which is represented by Venus in Aries are not really going to satisfy us, because we know Venus is in detriment. And planets, when they're in detriment, it's very hard for them to carry their promise. Okay, so we don't do planetary comments, or we don't do about signs. We don't talk about the signs itself. Okay. Fourth one, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So these are the other planets. And I know in modern astrology, they are they're shown like they're ruling some signs, like Uranus is ruling Aquarius, Neptune is ruling Pisces, Pluto is ruling Scorpio. Okay, maybe modern astrology takes it like this, but in classical astrology, there are only 7 planets, and these 7 planets are only the ones who rules these 12 zodiac signs. So I'm not going to say, for example, let's look at this chart. I would never ever say that, for example, the 4th house ruler is Neptune. I shouldn't say that. Okay? Because that will get you in trouble. The only ruler for this specific chart who rules 4th house is Jupiter, and that's it. And last one, aspects. In Horary astrology, we always care about the next aspect. So one planet would be making many aspects till it finished the sign, it changed the sign. But what I care is the first aspect that this planet is going to make. Because otherwise, of course, there will be many connections. These planets are moving, but we need to see what is the first one this planet is going to do, because we're going to know about the future and the planet's first movement showing us how things are likely to go. And this is another important thing. Okay, today, these 5 things were our main topics. And really, if you pay attention to these things, you're gonna read any chart you want, and it's always good to know that horary is different than natal charts, and natal astrology's rules are not applied to horary, and horary's techniques are not applied to natal astrology. They are 2 different things because, as I said, one of them is a long term and one of them is a short term analyzing. Okay, I hope you find this video beneficial, and if you like it, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, you can leave them down below. And if you want to study with me for astrology, you can DM me anytime on my Instagram account, Buket Solak _. Or if you want to get a consultation as well, you can just contact me, and see you later.